Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first ITR Technology webinar. During this session, we will be covering ServiceDesk Plus with all the features and how it can help within your IT environment. So just a quick overview of ITR Technology. ITR Technology, we are the sole distribution company for managed engine products within South Africa. We've got experts. We are experts in solving IT, enterprise IT management solutions, and we've got trained technical engineers to assist you on configuration, implementation, and also training you on the product. As you can see here, we've got 4 different products that will assist you with IT service management. There's ServiceDesk Plus, the product that we're covering right now. There's Asset Explorer, which will be an asset life cycle management software. We've got Support Center Plus, that is more for your customer support and help desk management software. And we've got Social IT Plus, which is a private social network for IT. 7 reasons why your organization needs an ITSM. Firstly, it reduces cost of your IT service, increase customer satisfaction, reduces risks and downtime, increase operational efficiency and ensures business continuity, be compliant, have better control over your IT operations, help your organization deal with transitions smoothly. As you can see here, that it's not optimal. Basically, the not optimal part of it is without a help desk tool, it will be difficult to keep track of what exactly is happening within your environment, especially with IT. You won't be able to track and see what needs to happen within your environment, or if certain requests should be logged and or not. Okay, so then there is not tailored. So basically, this is a bit more where you can actually go and have external consultants who have limited knowledge of the existing business concepts, methods, tools, services, and the structure of services groups. Okay, here's how ServiceDesk Plus helps ease the pain and ensures help desk success. Firstly, the ServiceDesk Plus tool from Managed Engine gives you a 30-day free trial, basically where you can use any addition to test out within your environment. It's highly customizable. You can go and create it based on your needs, and there's no coding skills required in customizing the product. And the best thing about it is it's easy to learn your technicians as well as your users to use the product. So based out of the ServiceDesk Pluses, there's a lot of out-of-the-box features already. Once you install it, there will be already out-of-the-box features to the product itself. So most of the things will already be configured, and you can go and just add or change additional information on it to make it better for you. There's a wide accessibility. You can have your specific mobile devices connect to the help desk product, and you can have relevant platforms that can also go through to the specific help desk product. And then it's scalable for organizations with different process maturities. As you can see, the statistics of ServiceDesk Plus, it's been a 10-year product now that it's been there. There are 125,000 deployments in over 100,000 different organizations. Used by 750,000 IT technicians in 186 countries. And it's also available in 29 languages. These are the 3 different versions of the product. You get on-premise. So within this, we're going to be focusing more on the on-premise. And with the rest of the webinars in the future, currently for ServiceDesk Plus, we'll be focusing more on the on-premise version than the on-demand or the MSP version of the product. As I mentioned earlier, you can actually download a ServiceDesk Plus app and have your technicians work from wherever they are to get notifications based on tickets, reply from on their tickets, and take it from there as well. They can make life much easier to say that we're making sure that our clients are 100% happy with the service that we deliver. There are 3 different editions available. The standard edition, which is just the help desk software. The professional edition, which gives you the help desk software plus the asset management portal. And then you get the enterprise edition, which will be a combination of everything, where it will be the help desk, ITIL, asset management, and project management within the product. We will be going through the key features right now. There are 11 different key features to the product itself. Within these key features, as we go along, there will be a bit of a screenshot just to show a bit more about the product or that specific feature. And it will advise you a bit more of how it looks like. So first, there is incident management. So incident management will give you the opportunity to actually manage your lifecycle and incidents. You can actually go and create SLAs and associate them through to your request based on priorities, based on impacts, or based on the urgency of your request. There's also customizable workflows, which you can then go get relevant information from, people that needs to approve certain stages, and so on. As you can see, list the wheel that we have. First, we start off with a new incident. So a new incident can be created via email, telephone, self-service portal, or even chat. Yes, that's correct. We've got a live chat functionality within our help desk, and that will give you the full-on experience of users using a live chat functionality to log tickets through there. You will prioritize and assign the request based on who needs to get the specific information. There will be automation in place as well, where you'll have a business rule where you can define if a VIP user sends a mail through, it will automatically assign it to a senior technician. So that will basically give you that functionality to make sure that best effort service gets delivered on the request. Then you get your analysis, where you can have the remote desktop functionality and also asset information for that specific user. So within the user integration, what will happen is that once an asset gets pulled through to the help desk, if you have the asset module on it, you will associate users through to the relevant workstations. So within a request that gets logged, their workstation will also be associated to it, and you can give a thread and see exactly how many requests this specific person has logged on a specific issue on their machine, on their workstation. You can then communicate with the end user, where you can actually reply with automated reply or customized reply templates from your side. You can use the chat functionality as a live chat, or you can just have the email conversation within the tickets, where you can just reply to a normal user via email, and they'll get an update with the ticket number and everything. Then you can go and resolve an incident, which will give you the functionality to add it to a knowledge base, where example of the knowledge base comes in, where you will actually, let's say you found a better way to resolve an issue, you can actually publish it through to your knowledge base. And then you can close the incident, push through a survey from there, or you can have it from user acknowledgement. Once you put it on resolve status, it will give the user the opportunity to close the request themselves. Okay, so what we'll do is, our core focus with this specifically on the incident management is to pin incidents to the right technicians to make sure that everything works on a perfect flow so that no one gets lost in between. If you have a responsibility to sort out a specific issue, you can then make sure that your technicians get the relevant information. You can also save some time with the smart automations that is automatically with the product, as I mentioned with the business rules, also with automatic technician assigning. So you can also ensure timely resolutions with the service level agreements that you have, also based on rules that you can define as well once it comes to that specific part of closing the request. You can gain knowledge with the knowledge base. As I mentioned, you can post your resolutions through to a knowledge base to make life easier for you with keywords. It will make it easier for users. Once they log a request, the knowledge base will automatically populate if there's a keyword specifically for it, it will populate a resolution for them to try out themselves first. You can link the incidents to problems. So this is clearly that a problem usually is something that cannot be resolved, or you don't have a resolution to it yet, or even a major outage. Most of us have experienced that before. So within this within the help desk itself, you can go and create problems and associate. As you can see, this is an example of the business rules. You will find your rule based on the category. As you can see, it says desktop hardware. We've chosen that. And once it's selected as desktop hardware, we can match more than just one specific rule. And we can define it where it needs to be placed in a group, or we're going to assign it to a technician automatically. Then we got the notifications to send through to relevant people based on if they need to get notifications. So once this request has been placed within a group, it needs to notify that team basically to get that information or start working on that request. As you can see, the SLA configurations. So SLAs will be based on your criteria. So the criteria is relatively big. You can base it on priority, base it on a specific subcategory. You can have it based on your impact or your urgency of the request. And you can go and define it and say when it needs to be responded first, when's the first response coming through, and when it should be resolved. So you've got your different levels of escalation, where you've got your level 1 escalation. Once if response time has been elapsed, you can notify 5 minutes before it needs to notify the manager to let them know, listen, we need to get this sorted out, look at it, and take it further from there on. The same with your resolution time on a specific request. So once a request has gone 5 minutes over the SLA that it should have been resolved, you can place it in a relevant group, take some actions, place it in a more senior group, and then assign it automatically to a senior technician. And you can move the priority from, let's say it was low, over to medium, or from medium over to high. And they will then take it from there on. We also, within the product, got a functionality for the technician auto-assign. As you can see, there's 2 different models of auto-assigning. There's round robin and load balancing. So first off, the round robin will be, the tickets will be divided equally. Everyone gets a ticket, and then it will start all over again. Everyone gets a ticket again, and so it will continue. Where load balancing will be, for instance, Heather will have 12 tickets on her name, Jennifer has 1. So it will keep on piling tickets over to Jennifer until they are equally matched on 12 tickets. Okay. You can also go and exclude additional technicians based on if you don't want managers to get tickets under the auto-assigning. You can base that and take them out of the auto-assigning part of the product, of the tickets, yes. So just a quick example, this is how your requests would look like. Once they come into the help desk, you'll be able to go and see the fields at the top. You'll see the subject, request name, who the request has been assigned to specifically. If there's a group also associated to it, when the request will be due by, that is based on the SLA that's been assigned to it, and what the priority is. On there, you've got an option to also add additional columns. When was the last response? What the SLA is specifically for it. So you can actually go and see all of the information that you want to based on the fields that you have populated to the request. Just a quick example of how the request looks like once you go into it. This is basically a request resolution. You will post in information as below, and you will submit it for approval and make sure that you get information or get a senior to approve the request, populate it through to yourself, to your knowledge base portal. Over at the request, you can see that there's my open or unassigned. This is where your custom views will come in. So within your custom views, you can go and create a custom view based on what you require. So you can filter it if you have 10 or 20 different statuses, you can go and create a custom view based on the status that you have. So my open or unsigned, if you have any closed requests, any on hold requests, it will be based here. You can go and click on the relevant one and it will open it up for you. We will move on to the next feature of the product, the knowledge base. We have mentioned a couple of it already within the incident management because it plays a very big role over there. So knowledge base is basically a centralized repository of knowledge-based solutions. It will approve workflows, topic-wise browsing, and keyword search option in the self-service portal for the users. Okay, so as you can see, there's 4 different steps for it. You can create your new knowledge base article. It contains rich text. You can insert images into it, even attachments if you have documents for it. You can organize under topics, keywords for better searchability. So that will make much better, for instance, printer cartridges. You can just type it in as a keyword and automatically, once a user sends a mail about a printer or printer cartridges, it will show up a knowledge-based solution for them, how to do it from their side. You can submit it for approval. So that will be through to your managers or to the administrator of the product. And you can publish it through to self-service. So you can restrict it all for technicians themselves within an IT environment, or you can push it through to the end users to use the specific knowledge base. Okay, so this is just corely to organize your knowledge base, make sure that everyone gets proper functionality to it and that everything is sorted out from there. It reduces calls to your help desk as it gives the user the functionality to open it up from their side themselves. It can solve incidents quicker and better. It saves a lot of time to focus more on core issues that you guys have within your IT environment. Just a quick example. The knowledge base page looks as follows. You'll see all your different solutions on the side. That is customizable. You can add and change the solutions based on what you require. So you have general, hardware, network, and software. That is already built in to the product itself. You can go and submit for solutions for approval by selecting them on the block and submit for approval. And you can define it, search in the solutions tab if you have any additional keywords for that specifically. We'll move over to the next benefit or feature, that will be service catalogs. So service catalog is a showcase of, it showcases the range of IT services offered, configured category, specified workflows, set up approval processes for users to actually approve the specific steps, or if there's a new computer setup, they can approve it and say, we have to purchase something or not. Determine service level agreements that you can associate to the specific service catalog as well, and provide understanding service to your end users. So as you can see, this is the workflow of, or this is how the specific service catalog works. So first you will create a service catalog and you will categorize a service within that service catalog. You will configure the service items based on the template or SLAs, approvals, if there's tasks that need to be associated to it. And then you'll publish it in the self-service portal for users, end users, to ask for the relative information themselves. So how it works is you choose your service request, send it for approval, you'll apply the SLA, there will be tasks triggered if you have tasks associated to it, and then from there on, the IT will deliver the service to make life easier. So 3 things about Service Catalog is it improves your IT visibility, optimizes service delivery, boosts productivity with automation workflows. As you can see, this is basically the page of how the service catalogs look. You'll see that there is a service catalog right at the top, Active Directory services, and within that, you've got relevant services. So you will basically give the users the right your HR department or your finance department or any department within your company will have the right to specifically request for information or a service. So this will make life easier for IT environment. Also in the part where, just a quick example, HR, there's a new staff member starting within the company. This will give you the possibility to create new Active Directory accounts. So they will be logging a service request, they can fill in the information, and it will be populated through to IT to do the information. So this will cancel out all paperwork and everything and automate the whole process within your help desk itself. As you can see, there's the workflow. You get different stages of approvals. So stage 1 would be the department head, or you can make it as the site in charge. If there's a CEO that you want to get approval from, CIO, anyone that you require will basically be pushed through to the approval. So how it works is, automatically, once you pull your users through from the Active Directory, it will give you the option to add them to a relevant department. It will pull through the department if it's associated to the Active Directory, and you will then go and within the department itself assign a department head. And the department head will be the person that will be approving these different stages. As you can see, we can also go and define the SLA. So each service catalog will have its own SLA. It won't be based on a priority or on a specific rule or defined rule. It will be based on how it's going to be handled. Okay, so we'll move over to the Self-Service Portal. So the Self-Service Portal is the user functionality. So it provides a simple and easy to use web interface for your end users to choose new services and track the services to closure. So from here on, you can, as a technician, also publish announcements and enable access to knowledge-based articles and empower your users to actually get more knowledge in the IT environment. Okay, how it looks specifically. So end users will see the following. They will have access to the knowledge-based solution. If you have published specific knowledge-based solutions, they can create incidents from this platform themselves. They can track it, see if it's closed already, and they can reopen the request once it has not been sorted out and technicians have closed it and said that no, the issue has been sorted out. So this gives them the full functionality to make sure that their incidents are being done in a proper way. They can communicate with technicians via the live chat functionality. They can view announcements. For instance, if you have a mail server that's going to be in for testing, or it's going to be down for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, you can actually announce it to them and let them know. And once they log into the system to log a request, they'll be notified, and there won't be basically unnecessary calls coming through to your IT group to ask what's going on with the emails, or what's going on, why can't we connect to servers, or so on. So this announcement functionality gives you the right to let people know what's going on within the IT environment. They can also go and update their profile details based on what their name is, if there's any additional contact details that they need to publish, and so on. Okay. As you guys can see, there's 3 interesting things, core things about the Self-Service Portal. It deflects the tickets from the service desk, provide visibility on operations, ensure streamlined communication. So this will cause that there's no loss in between communication with the technician and the user, if it's over the phone or even if it's via email. This will give them the opportunity to type everything out from their side, select the relevant information, and push it through as a request to the IT technicians. This is a quick example of how the Self-Service Portal dashboard looks like. As you can see here, once you have logged a request as a user, it will say how many requests are pending, if there's any approvals that needs to happen, as you can see, or if you have to approve any request, you will see on the side your approvals, and you can take action from there on. So if you're waiting for approvals from relevant users or departments, it will be over there. And then waiting for an update. Once an SLA or a response time has expired on a request, it will have waiting updates, and it will tick up and go up based on your request. You can see the announcements over here. As you can see, support to move technicians as requesters. This will be an announcement based or created by an administrator or by a technician themselves. Great ways to find solutions. They can search for a solution. So within this, it gives them the opportunity to type in keywords, and it will pop up the popular solutions for them. They got the functionality to submit a request. Once they click on submit a request, they can log a normal incident request or a service request. Within the self-service portal, you can remove some of these tabs if you're not happy with them, and also insert widgets from your own if you would like to add, let's say, for instance, your e-learning page, or even a specific page that makes your users, or that they need to log in to make them just come to this specific portal. You can attract them via that specifically. Okay. So self-service portal request list looks exactly as a technician list. It just has additional information going through, or extra information over there. Okay, so self-service portal, you can go on this request catalog. That is how you're going to request your incident. The incident template and the service template will be populated through to this specifically. We will move over to the next step, which is the problem management. So problem management is to find out the root cause of incidents and provide temporary workarounds or permanent fixes to reduce reoccurring incidents. You will see you get the functionality to create a new problem, link related incidents to problem, analyze the problem, make announcements through to relevant people. There's a temporary workaround, or there's a permanent fix to it, and you can close the problem. There's 2 points of it. So underlying issues within your IT environment, and minimize the severity of incidents from your side. Okay, so within this, you can actually experience integrated problem management process, work in tandem with other processes like incident management, change management, asset management, or your CMDB. And basically, from there on, you can work on the problem and solve it from your side. How the problem looks. You can see the link problems to changes over here by the change exactly. You can actually go and create a new change based on the problem. You can define the problem's attributes by the urgency and define the assets that are involved to the specific problem. You can go to the specific incidents if there's incidents linked to the problem. You can see the root cause to the problem when you go to the analysis. And you can attach supporting documents for better clarity on the problem itself as well. We will move over to change management. So the change management basically gives you the functionality to configure separate workflows for different types of change and implement them with zero impact and risks. Customize your change management process by defining change parameters such as change types, roles, stages, and templates. As you can see, the workflow for it, once you create a change, it will give you the option to submission. So you can change your template to with a emergency template, or if it's a normal change, you can do the planning where you will have your rollout plan, backup plan, your checklists, your approval where your CAP members will be associated for approval, and also if there's a change manager that needs to be approving the relevant stage. You can announce if there is any planned downtime for the specific change. There's implementation, this is where you're going to start taking on the specific change task. So you can associate your projects or delegate tasks to relevant people. And you can post the implementation review. So that will give you the functionality to see who did what, was it successful or not. So the core functionality of it will be manage your changes with precision and make informed decisions. Streamlining planning, approval, and implementation. Reduce authorized, failed, and emergency changes. So this is basically how your change calendar will look like. So based on the time the schedule starts and when it ends is how long it will mark on your change. All the technicians will be able to see this once it has been posted on your site. So as you can see, the planning phase of the change, you'll see that take snapshot of server, copy layout, save, form, just move it over to a relevant server. Once you need to roll out and it doesn't work, your backout will be basically to restore the layout save for that specifically. So adding your relevant CAB members, once you select your approving committee, you can go and select 1 out of the 10 people or 20 out of the 50 people based on what you require or which users you require to approve the specific change. Implementation will be how you're going to take it on. Will there be tasks associated as discussed? And that is the change management part. We'll move over to the project management, where we'll give you the opportunity to manage your IT project better by breaking them down into milestones and tasks. Track your resource utilization using color-coded Gantt charts. So as you can see, the 6 different steps. You create your new project, you create milestones or your phases, whichever you'd like to call them. You'll associate your relevant tasks to your milestones or to your project. Add and manage your resources. Track the process of your milestones and tasks. If you have file work logs, you can associate it to it, and you can close the project then. So core things to notice, to know about the project management part is that it steers your IT projects to success, and it breaks down projects into milestones and tasks. You can specify your access control and track your progression of the specific project. As you can see, the project details looks as follow. So at the top, you'll see links, your linked request. If you have any additional links, you will have your project summary, which will have your additional milestones, how many has been completed of the additional milestones. Okay, and you got your tasks to see as well how many tasks have been completed on that specific project. You can configure the project attributes, who's the owner of the specific task, what the priority is, when you guys are actually starting on it, when you guys are thinking you're going to be ending with it, and when you are scheduled to start the specific project and when you're scheduled to end it. You can also associate a change through to a project. So over here, you can see the associated change, and it will give you the functionality to go back and forth to the change and see if it has been implemented or if there is a relevant, on the implementation stage, how far you are with that specifically. As you can see at the top, this will be your Gantt view. It will show you the information that you require to, based on your task, how far you are you still in time, which users are doing what specifically, and so on. And within the managed resources, you can associate more members through to your specific project. On the milestones itself, as you can see, there's multiple milestones created, and each one of them have their own tasks associated to them as well. And you can go to your tasks, and it will be defined over there for you as well. We will jump over to the asset and CMDB. So the core functionality, or the main thing that we use asset management for, is to manage your assets within your environment, knowing exactly where the workstations are, if they are within the office or are they out on repairs, and so on. So the core thing about it is to discover and maintain an accurate inventory of all IT assets in one place. You can draw a CI relationship map using a simplified drag and drop interface to have a bird's eye view of your IT infrastructure. As you can see, you get a functionality once new assets have been purchased, or if assets have been scanned within the network IP range, you can basically go and build your IT asset inventory. Map the assets to users, associate purchase or contracts to them. You can do license monitoring, license metering, basically seeing software on your specific assets and so on. You can build your CI relationship and support other ITIL processes like your incident management, problem management, and change management. As I mentioned earlier, the asset management tool or part of the product will be to discover, track, and manage IT assets in one place, to map your relationships for impact analysis, manage your software, and ensure compliance. Over at the top, in the left corner, you'll see that you'll classify the assets based on what they are. Is it an access point, printer, router? Is it a workstation, laptop, desktop? What exactly the specific asset is. You will configure the asset states based on if it's disposed, expired, in repairs, in store, or in use. You will configure the product types, as mentioned at the top, by the classify the assets. That's where you're going to configure the product types, where all of this relevant information will be posted under the IT assets. And then you can configure your CI types within the asset itself. So just a quick example, if I'm not mistaken, this is the dashboard of just a quick analysis of your specific IT assets. Okay, so within this specific asset dashboard, you have the functionality to see specifically how many workstations you have, how many printers you have, how many routers you have. If the SNMP is enabled, you'll be able to pull that through, and you will get the workstations based on their operating systems as well. Quick example, you can pull through your software and see what software is compliant, under licensed and over licensed within your specific asset management. Your CMDB relationship will look as follow. So within your company itself, they will be enabled by a network service, and that will be supported by the network team, or a hosting service, which would be managed by a relevant user and hosted on a specific platform. So within this, you can build your relationship map and make it better from there on. As you can see, you can go and pin problematic assets to a request, to a specific problem, or to a change, as showed in the previous steps of the specific features. So over here, you get the opportunity to see the requests, problems, and changes once you go in the asset itself. You will see scanned software, how many you're licensed for, how many installations there are specifically for it, and what the max use is of the specific scanned software. So you'll also get functionality to see the software license. As you can see, the license key will be populated as well, and you'll be able to get the relevant information through to all the other devices, workstations on your environment. We will move over to the purchase and contracts. As you can see, that this will give you the opportunity to track and manage your IT purchases from creation of purchase orders to receiving of the items itself. It will also give you the functionality to maintain IT contracts in a single place, set up email notifications to renew them before expiry. This is very important, especially with your domain renewals And within, let's say, for instance, you are a company that has contracts with printer companies, this is a great example of it itself. So it will give you the functionality to make sure that your contract doesn't expire, or you'll be notified 30, 60, 90, however many days you want to be notified before, to make sure that that the contract doesn't expire. Okay. As you can see, this is just a quick workflow of how the purchase works. You will create a new purchase order. It will be submitted for approval. You will basically receive the shipment, or that step should actually be right at the end, basically. You will, once it's been submitted for approval from a purchase order point or purchase request point, it will be, once it's approved, it will move over to a purchase order. So once it gets created as a purchase order, it will be submitted again for approval. And all the costing and everything, you will receive your invoice or your quotes and everything. You will receive a shipment, you'll do the payment and invoice, and then you can close the purchase order. Then you can, after that, you can then add the relevant received shipment to your asset inventory. So as discussed, the purchase order part gives you opportunity to regulate IT purchases. Never miss your contract renewals. So as you can see, we just discussed about the life cycle for a purchase request and purchase order, how it will work. So it will create the purchase order, submit for approval. If it's rejected, it will be canceled. If it's ordered, partially received, then received, invoice received, payment done, and you'll close the purchase order. As you can see itself, here is just a quick example of how the purchase order will look like. Over here where it says Acme Help Desk, your company logo will be associated there as well. By the writing that's over there, that's where your company name will be displayed as well. Underneath it, you get your vendor details, where you gain which vendor you're purchasing the specific product from, where the shipping address is, and also the billing address where it needs to go through to as well. Within the contract itself, as mentioned, you can see that what the vendor details is. You can also associate it through to there, and you'll see the specific associated assets to that specific contract. We'll move over to the reporting part of the product. So as you guys can see, that the product is basically comes standard with over 150 canned reports, and you can create your own custom reports if those reports are not according to your needs. You can schedule reports. You can generate your own reports at desired time intervals in standard industry formats and share them to drive effective help desk decisions. Quick example of the reporting part. You get the information as you can customize reports. Once you customize a report, you can configure and modify a report, choose the report type, select a module, filter the options, select the summary output type. You can also put a graph in it as well. After that specific report has been created, you can go and create a schedule report for it. You can generate and share the reports as well, or as a HTML, CSV, or a PDF once the schedule report has been created, or when you have created your own custom report, you can go and export it in the relevant formats. And you can customize it through to your dashboard to put in the relevant information for you as well. So as we discussed, this is to derive reports across modules and give quick access to relevant metrics right from the dashboard itself. So it's much easier for you, instead of having to go and generate a report every single time. This will pick up the information for you already. It ensures access control, and it's easy understanding for trends of strategic planning within your company. As you can see at the top, this is basically how the dashboard looks like in regards to reporting. You've got your help desk, your problems and changes, or your assets based on the specific dashboard that you want. And you can see here that these are the additional widgets that has been added from the reports itself. So just a quick example of a database schema. Okay, so when you build your own custom reports, you can go and select your available columns, move them over to display columns. You can filter the options based on when you want to pull the report from. Is it last year, the year before that? Is it for only today? You can define it based on the chart if you want to. And the next page will show you exactly how the report looks like then. So as you can see, that this is basically a report based on the technicians, and it's the open request on the technician's name. So as you can see, Heather has 9 tickets on it, and it goes down with all the relevant technicians. So the last part would be the integrations of the products that from Manage Engine that can integrate to the help desk product. Okay. So as you guys can see, there is 4 different products that can integrate with it. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, there might be a bit more. So there's Op Manager that can integrate with the specific product itself. So that's for your network monitoring management. Then you get your Desktop Central, which is your Windows desktop management. Okay, and you get your SelfService Plus to be integrated with the product itself for end-user password reset management. You can also do your specific Active Directory management tool. If it's Manage Engine AD Manager, you can also integrate that specific product through to ServiceDesk Plus. And last but not least, it gives you the opportunity to do the advanced ServiceDesk analytics to be imported through to ServiceDesk Plus for in-depth reporting within your IT environment. So what it does specifically with the integrations, it empowers your users with self-service password resets, automated software deployments to improve help desk efficiency, reduce downtime with the right network intelligence, advanced service desk analytics to exactly get you the crucial reporting for your specific environment. If there's any questions, we do have some time for questions right now. You guys are more than welcome to post it through to the questions tab, and that should be the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for everyone for joining. I'm going to be answering questions right now. If I'm not mistaken, Mark, I think you asked the question. Can you show the hours scheduling for project tasks? Just want to confirm if that's the correct one. Okay, perfect. So you want to know the specific hours it's scheduled for the milestones itself, or when the specific task has been project task has been created? Okay. Okay, cool. I see your question right there. Thank you for the question. Just give me a few seconds. So within the project task, if you add an additional new task, you can go and set a schedule start and when it's going to end. You can also go and add an additional field to actually have, and you can track that within the Gantt view itself. Have I answered your question, Mark? Okay, cool. I understand what you say. So, Mark, what I would do is, if you don't mind, what I can do is for you specifically, I'll just confirm that for you, make sure that I get you the correct information in regards to that, so that we can make sure that we don't give you the wrong information on that specific question, if that's fine with you. Perfect. Any other questions? So to integrate the product with custom services, just quickly want to find out which specified custom services you want to integrate the product with. Because okay, so what we can always do is usually if you want to integrate a different product through to the help desk product itself, usually the integration works with an API key. So what we can always do is we can confirm with Manage Engine if it's possible and if it will be a later possibility as well, if it's not possible currently. So we can always find that out for you if that's fine with you. Oh, perfect, perfect. So what I'll do is I do have your email address, luckily. So what I will do is I'll actually send you a mail once I get confirmation from Manage Engine themselves, and then I'll send it through to you. No problem. Any other questions? So to show a report where lead times per incident are shown per team. So you want a incident report based on a specific support group, how many requests are on a specified support group, or how quick they resolve their specific request. Oh, okay. That should be interesting. Yeah, so basically what I know is on those specific requests, you can see at least the, how can I say, the how many tickets are on relevant groups and so on. But based on the how quickly they resolve a specific incident, we will actually, that's actually a tricky one. I'm sure that should be possible with the specific creating a query report. I think Manage Engine should be able to find that specifically. I don't think you'll be able to create that within the custom report themselves. So if I'm not, I'll confirm that for you, but as far as my knowledge goes, so a query report is basically creating with, based on your database, a SQL query or PGSQL. It will basically generate a report for you within the product. So it will do a query based on your backend database. So yes, it's a bit more in depth than your custom reports and your normal reports. So Mark, I will actually find out by Manage Engine if it will be possible to actually see who closes the quickest, or the average incident resolution to a request itself, and then we can actually get back to you about that. Cool. Any other questions? Okay, so the product does have built-in survey options for you. So it gives you the opportunity to send through surveys. Once users, that's fine, it's not an issue. The more questions, the better, and everybody will understand that specific question. I'm sure most people have that question as well. So the surveys gives you the opportunity to send through once a request has been closed from a technician side, it will send through a survey based on what the questions are. So have the requests been sorted out on a sufficient manner, and so on. And you will also give them a link to apply it from their side. You can also do reporting on that specific survey to pull information for you further from there. Cool. I'll quickly see if I can quickly show you a quick example. It's going to be, not sure if it's going to actually crash something. So, Mark, so if your question about the survey option is there. It's just saying again, it is there, available on the product itself. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll be ending the webinar soon. Just got for everyone, if you would like to, there has been a poll created. If you guys would like to, how would you rate the seminar? That would be wonderful. And this will give us great feedback going further ahead with the seminars that we're going to be hosting. Thank you very much for your time, guys. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy the rest of your day.